CNI dispatch, over.
South Kansas dispatch is CN 8340 East, over. I don't think you have it yet, but NGX 5 stop indication on zeroing, over. Alright, NGX can't comply, stop indication at zeroing. I was trying to get you crossed overhead of the westbound Amtrak, but probably going to run out of time, over. I was going to, and then it was taking too long for the train ahead of you to clear the next block, over. So you'll see the 381 from where you stand, over.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to be going live here shortly. Well, we're live now, but we're going to start the engine start up and get going. Just testing my audio right now. Alright, this is part 3 of the Riceboro sub. In part 2, we finished up yesterday, for those that watched. I kind of come in on the wrong track. I've only been to this place one time before. So I come in on the wrong track, really. I should have come in on the other side. I should have come in through here, because I could have dropped pretty much the whole train through here. But anyway, So we come in, finished up yesterday. We come in through here where this blue tank car is. I had the whole train coming through this track, and they were like way on down past that curve. Too many cars. Well, the situation was up toward the front here didn't have a lot of room, very little room, so I had to be creative. I didn't really want to back all the way back down, so I kind of did this after I went. I wish I'd have videoed it, but I kind of did it after we shut down the stream to save some time for today. I just went ahead and done it. I really wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but I got it done anyway. As realistic as you can do it, and no cheating really involved in it. What I done, okay, so this blue tank car right up here, this blue tank car was hooked to this blue tank car down here, so it's one long train. So what I done, I pushed all the way back past this switch right here where this white tank car is. So I pushed all the way back past this switch, and one of the blue tank cars was sitting here that I was dropping. So I pushed all the way back, dropped him right there. Then I pulled part of the train up and stopped it right here where that blue tank car ends. Then I unhooked the engine, and I think I still had 2 box cars right here. And I came over to this switch because I had enough room, and came down through here, and I hooked to this blue tank car, which was setting past this switch, so I could hook to it through this switch. I'm only telling you all this because some people that watched the stream didn't get to see how I done it, because it's kind of a tight situation on how I was going to do it. So I came back with the locomotives and the 2 box cars hooked to the blue tank car that I dropped right here, and then I just pulled straight up all the way up here and dropped these here, what cars I could fit in right here. And I did the same thing again. I don't remember which. Okay, let's go right here. So these right here was the next ones I dropped. So basically this box car right here was pushed back a little and dropped behind, let's see, pretty much about the same place again. Dropped past this switch, dropped it right in here. So after I pulled all this line up, dropped, I unhooked from the switch engine, from the cars with the switch engines, and then came over here to this track, came down it, and hooked to the box car that you see up there at the front, hooked up right here, and then come in on this track. And that's how I was able to get all the cars on here. And that was the last car. So they fit in here pretty good. Now, so what I did when I left this track right here, I did have to hook to these tank cars and push them up a ways, a couple of car lengths. That's really the only thing I had to move. I just pushed them up, and then I came down this track all the way to the end, and then come back up this track and hook to this first cut of cars here that's Riceboro cars. So we're taking all these cars, and then we're going to hook up to these 2 industry cars. That warehouse, we're going to be switching it out on the way back down. This will be the 2 cars. They don't really have to be on the end, and it's probably better if they're more towards the front, because we got to spot them up. I think we can spot up on 2 doors there, and that'll make it easier for us to spot them. You know, if you want to try and do this in a realistic manner, as realistic as you can be. So we'll be grabbing all these cars, hooking up those 2 box cars back there. Then we got to make our way over to this track here with these intermobile cars. We'll be hooking to those next, and then we're going to go over there. There's some more cars over there, chip cars and stuff. Some more tankers. We're going to make our way over there to hook to them. So that's pretty much how part 2 ended. Now we're going to continue on with part 3. I had to make 3 parts because I had several things I had to do here, so I had to kind of stop. Let's get them going. I got these, had somebody ask me where I got these at, and including the switchers down there are the Genesis Wyoming paint scheme too. The two switchers down there at the plants. If you watch the previous videos, those are the Riceboro logos, Riceboro Southern logos. These here are the Heart of Georgia logos. It's still Genesis and Wyoming. And I got all these off Discord. Let's go ahead and get everything set up. Make sure my controllers is working. If you hear a bunch of clicking in my videos, I don't use the rail driver. I use something that I personally like better. I've got a video on what I use. If you want to watch it, it's in one of my other videos. I talk about it. It's a Thrustmaster 4-axis. Come from Flight Sim, but it's got like 4 axes and a bunch of other stuff. Kind of works great. So that's what some of the clicking you'll hear me doing. So this has been a several hour ordeal. Already done 2 videos, and I think they're like 2 to 2.5 hours a piece already. So we're already 5 hours in, because we started sim time like 0700, so we're at 152 now. So it's been a busy day, and it takes almost as long to do this as it does in real life. I can tell you pretty much. It's a little bit quicker because you can fly around a little bit, but anyway. And as I mentioned in my other videos, like I work, if you ain't figured it out yet, you can see in my profile pic, that's one of the locomotives I operated, and you'll see the Amoco logo. I work for the old Amoco Chemicals before they were bought out by BP, which I also worked for Amoco BP too. But when I was on the switch crew, it was Amoco, and that's who I worked for. Very, very large yard in North Alabama, and it's stayed pretty busy. It was 5-6 days a week, all day long, switching cars. They ship probably 20, 30 a day. We had a pretty good, close relationship with Norfolk Southern there. We helped them out with setting up shipping cars for outbounds for them and stuff. We just stayed busy all day, a lot of rail cars. We dealt mostly with hopper cars and tank cars. All right, come on back. About 8 to hook. And you'll hear me talk. I'm not going to use the lingo exactly like Norfolk Southern or any of the big railroads. I'm just going to use the lingo we used on our switch yard. That's kind of how we did it to get the job done. I don't, About 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's good enough. I tell you what, already something's going on. And I don't know why. My controller is not responding right. Yeah, my controller, I see what's going on. It's took off the dynamic. Hang on. I see what's going on. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's showing up on the screen. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I didn't have that selected. That's what's going on. Let's see if it's right now. Let's hop back in the train for a second. I ain't had no kind of problems like that, but as soon as you start live streaming, you get an issue. Well, I'm not sure. So we'll find out. All right, come on back. About a car to hook. Half. Quarter. 10. 6. 4. Good enough. Go ahead, back to the switch.
For the release there, Jerome. Jesus. What up, man? All right, release. How you doing? I'm gonna let you play the gas again. I know you like. Who the heck is that?
You missed that charger, though. No, that was,
My man.
you haven't seen Fifth up there, man.
You too, my man.
I've got to hold to 12 cars right now.
It's all good here.
About 12 more cars. About 8 more. About 6 more. Five. 4. 3. Just kind of guessing where a switch is. 2 more. An hour and a half. One more. About a half. Quarter. 2 wheels, that's good. fly up a little bit. Yeah, this is the ones I need to get. Okay, yeah. All these RSOs, Riceboro Southerns. Making sure I'm on the right switch here. So I was on the right switch. Alright, come on back. About 5 to hook it. About 3 more to hook. Two cars to hook. Car and a half. 1. Half. Quarter. 10. 8. 6. 4. Good. Go ahead. Make sure we ain't leaving nothing behind.
Bluetooth detector, milepost 64.0, track 2.
Normally I would say go ahead to so-and-so track. But I don't know all the track numbers here. Southover
Bluetooth
yard.
detector, milepost 64.0, track 2. No defect. Total axle 1, 2. Temperature 60 degrees. Detector out.
Y'all get it as tight as I can get it.
Yeah, you just cleared it back here.
We're going to track A34. Roughly.
Got a signal in that top.
got a hold of about 33 cars right now. I'm not sure. May have to go on to the main line a little bit because we're going to have to go through this switch down here. Then we're going to push back to the track A34 or somewhere right in there is the track that we got to go on. We'll go ahead and start the timer right here. We got 2,000 feet, 2,050 feet. So there's 1,000, we're halfway. Normally I'd be on the back of the car counting down to the switch, but we got the timer going here. And I want to make sure we're not having to go on to the main line here. I think we're going to be okay. Which it don't matter if we do have to go on it, you know, it's just... Okay, my dynamic brake's working now. Alright, so we cleared the switch. We'll go ahead and stop. Should have. Go ahead and reset the timer. Or the counter, I say. Not timer, it's a counter. We didn't have anything like that on our yard. We didn't use anything like that on our locomotives. But, you know, like I said, we probably had 2 or 3 guys on the ground doing switching, so we'd keep one guy on the front. It just made it a lot easier. So we had plenty of help. We were always under a countdown, always. Alright, come on back. Switch his throat. track there's got a crook in it. Switches is set. Just keep on coming back. Road's clear. 15 cars. I'm calling off 15 cars because that's about as far as I can see. And on our yard, we had plenty of guys on the ground. So a lot of times we had guys most of the time standing in the roads and stuff because we had a lot of roads on the yard we worked. Like I said in my other videos, our yard was about like, you know, serving 5 to 7 industries because we had 3 different units and they could load, you know, 18. They could load 24 at 2 of the units, but you know they could load, all of them could load easy 12 a day. Most time, you know, 18. Just keep coming on back, about 10 cars. Switch is set. And then we had unloading facilities. We had the spot up tank cars. We had a wash rack for washing cars. We had a place called Rest Car that serviced rail cars. And then we had another chemical tank car facility. Just keep easing on back. You got about 20 to hook. You know, what's interesting, you know, I worked there 7 years. I don't ever remember us, you know, getting a knuckle or even losing a hose. I don't really remember it. But if we did, you know, we had rail car service there. They would just come out and fix it. We never had to do anything like that. And we never ventured outside of the yard, maybe half a mile or so. So I never had to deal with any signals or anything like that. It's mainly just straightforward switches like all of these. Pretty much what our switches were like. But we did move a lot of cars, and that's why about 10 more to hook. The last 2 years we had to lease a Norfolk Southern engine because the engines we were using they didn't have enough horsepower to do it because we were constantly having to move, you know, 40, 50, 60 or more cars at a time to get around. About 8 more to hook. About 6 more to hook. Like I said, that was 28 years ago for me, so at the time of doing this video, so I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but I remember a lot of stuff too. It's just kind of, once you've done it a while, and kind of crazy, this simulator's kind of helped me get back in the groove a little bit. About 4 more to hook. The only thing about this simulator, you got to do all things at once. You got to be everybody. About 3 more to hook. Two. Car and a half. 1 more. Half. Quarter. 10. 8. 6. 4. 2. Good enough. Let's see. How many cars? Now we are 2,800 feet. 1.7 horsepower. Roughly around 45 cars. We'll put this track speed on there. So I was kind of debating. We basically only got 2 more cars sitting over here. I might as well. I wasn't going to go over here and get them, but I think I am now. Since we're under 50 cars. We've got these 2 box cars here. Just debating on just leaving them here, but we'll just go ahead and get them. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Close that angle cock off. Go ahead back to the switch. I should have blowed my horn earlier. We always, whenever we hook up to a new cut of cars that we hadn't been a hold of, the engineer, he'd blow his horn, you know. Out there on that yard, we had loaders and stuff that'd go around and go on, which they would get under the cars to clean off the the pans and stuff, make sure there's no old residual product left, because it was a powder they put in those hoppers. They'd drop the pans, clean them off into bags, and then seal them back up, and they'd be under those rail cars. Of course, we was real safe about it. We always made sure nobody's under the cars when we moved them, but we did have people, under the cars doing things and stuff like that. And then, of course, we had rail car repair people. They'd be out there inspecting the cars, looking at them. I think we'll go out into Maine again. Just have to watch it. Got about 800 more feet. Start the counter right about here. 2,800 feet will be clear. There it goes. One or 2 roads we gotta go across here. About 20 more cars. About 12 more cars. I'm just guessing. Normally I'd be on the back, but like I said, I'm just up here on the front, make sure we don't pull this, get on this main line. About 6 more cars. Four more. 3, 2, 1 more. That's good enough. We should be clear of that switch now. Come on back. Switches is set. About 25 to hook. If you're into American freight trains, this is where you want to be, run 8. I started out with Train Sim World, but I quickly learned it was mostly about passengers. And then I run up on this, I didn't even know about this. This is all, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months ago I found it. It's kind of a steep learning curve. It's a lot to learn. And the best way I done it was to print off as much of the manuals as I can, which it costs quite a bit of money of ink to print off, because we all know ink's expensive. But I printed it off, and I've got like tons of stuff printed off. Printed off all kinds of stuff. Signal charts, everything. Because like I said, I worked on a yard. We didn't have to deal with any signals. So, signals is all new to me, and I still don't know, a lot about them. And I'll make mistakes, and I've actually, I'll run through some lights. This is all sim, it ain't real, but I try to be as real as possible. I try to talk as much as I can because, I mean, I just like the videos where people's talking. About 12 more to hook. Makes it a little more interesting. Gives you something to listen to, you know. And I mean, I'll watch the ones that nothing gets said to. I'll watch them too. But the people that talk, you know, I like watching those. You got about 10 more to hook. About 8 more to hook. We use the term hook on our yard. That's just what we used. It's just, I don't know, just quicker, simpler term. We all know what it meant. Hook up, you know, so we said hook. We didn't say couple. Nothing wrong with saying couple. I'm just saying that's just the way we did on our yard. We wasn't over the road, so like I said, we wasn't as heavily regulated. I know how the big railroads, you know, you gotta do everything exactly by the book, how they want it done. About 5 more to hook. Four. 3. 2. 1. About a half. Quarter. 10. 8. 6. 4. 2. Good enough. Three cars back here, okay? Thought it was just 2. I know this hose is unhooked. Now these cars will probably sit here in a block. These should have been hooked up. I wish they'd fix that. You know. Okay, and I've already closed that back angle cock. This one's open, we're good. We're gonna go up to the front. We're gonna auto EOT. There we go, got a success. We're gonna hop on. Go ahead on to the main line. Heard the EOT beep, so the last car's moving. We good. Go down. 28 loads, 28, just got 48 cars, 1.7 horsepower, 3,000 foot.
Airborne 25, 25, 25, 25, April 12, 2026, 23.
Got one dragging a little bit.
On one track, 1 number 45, 7, 7, Boy, 6 line 2, so Texas, Rails to West, WC sighting to Shadow Line.
Speed limit down here on the main. gonna go ahead and it's selected. Our destination's already selected. We're pretty much, we just got to get the lights. So we'll call in. We're getting ready to get our signal. You'll see up there 10-4 SJVR, San Joaquin Valley. I think that's what that is. That's a Genesis in Wyoming. This repaint deal here uses that locomotive, which I didn't know it, but it's actually a Genesis Wyoming out west. Short line. I like the SJVR locomotive because it's pretty much solid black. Use it for other short lines.
Dispatch on 3863. Crossing over to 1.
That other the radio chatter you hear there is just something I'm streaming off the internet. Have a little background going. Somebody needs to make a train chatter. We had that in Flight Sim on X-Plane 12. ATC chatter worked great. People liked it. You know, it's just random chatter, just just for the ambience environment. I might see if I can figure out how to record a lot of this, because I'd rather just record just several hours of it and just replay it. That way you ain't constantly searching for different streaming. Although, when you're streaming like this, it is live somewhere. I think this right here might be out of Wisconsin. I seem to get a lot of good streams out of Wisconsin. Other places I don't get a lot of chatter out of, but
BNSF detector, milepost 71.3. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle 380 out.
I don't have my alerter on realistic. With it off of realistic, you still get the alerter. I believe this is what you call medium approach. Chart. Like I said, I'm not used to signals. We never had to deal with anything like that. My bread and butter is switching. Doing the industries. Figuring out situations. Like yesterday when we come in up here at Southover. I should have planned it out a little better what track I was going in on. It would save me a little work, but I figured it out. That's what you have to do. You get in a situation, just figure it out. There's always several different ways you can do things. Yeah, there may be one way better than the other. You figure out the best way for you. You can save yourself a lot of work or cause yourself a lot of work. Once we clear that last switch of the main back there, we'll be able to speed up. We've got quite a few AI trains going. One thing I've done is went in here, you know, this was on 80 something. I've cut back, increased time, cut back on trains, because you'll get overloaded with locals, just overwhelmed with them. Which I know you can go in on the individual trains and, you know, cut back on your locals, but your yards fill up pretty quick if you don't cut back. When I was on the AGS, running it mostly, because that's where I started at, I had to do that. It's just the yards getting overwhelmed with cars. And, you know, just like the CSX guy on Spur Gaming said, you know, you're not going to switch every customer every single time. Some customers may not get but one car a week or one car every couple of weeks. And that's where in the other videos I was talking about the little red dots where you set up the industry configurations for unloading, loading cars and stuff. You know, sometimes you ain't got no choice. It won't give you the option, but you need to kind of reduce those red dots so it's not, you know, so many cars loading, unloading. You just, now if they do that many cars, yeah, you can do that, but like that VLS video, that yard there, you know, if you put red dots on all those tracks, goodness gracious, you'd be going in there swapping out 50, 60 at a time. You'll move when I tell you to move. Well, I'm a half a mile from the light, so I want to get a signal. And I don't see nothing coming. You know what I mean? Look here. Let's get a signal. There we go. You know, I printed off all the signal charts for all the lines, and I got a laminator, which comes in very handy, and I've laminated them for quick reference.
That's Robert.
57280 start.
572.
And it looks like we're calling into Global 3, huh?
I talked about what track is it to bring you in there.
Going into Global 3.
74.8 times the condo subdivision in normal position.
So you can see a full Riceboro southern turn, you know, complete day. Switching 3 industries, which we're not done yet. We've still got a couple hours to go. It's a, you know, you can see how they easily get 8 to 10 hours a day. Now, you know, I'm not exactly sure how often they switch those industries, but I'm pretty sure it's daily. Maybe not every single car, but I switched pretty much most of the cars in the first, you know, 2 videos, because when I did the first switching down there, the only other time that I did it, sim time was probably a week had passed, so I knew it was all pretty much going to be probably close to a week. It was several days. But when you're in single player mode, you kind of, you know, depending on what you want to cover. Which I've been doing a lot of the Fitzgerald too. I've got a lot of Fitzgerald videos. You know, it's a lot of industries up and down that track. Takes a couple of days to get all that done. That's the other track you can get to the other yard, the Savannah yard. On the west side of that track there, right there. I haven't worked it yet. I think it's mostly intermobile. We got a big port down here in Savannah, which is not model, but if they ever do, it'll be huge. We're 2.2 miles from the Riceboro track, and we'll be down to 25 again on it. thinking about my next video, what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna wrap up Riceboro in this for this turn. I'm thinking about, which I hadn't completely done it yet. I haven't done a Waycross to Southover, the yard we just left, or a Southover to Waycross. I might do a Southover to Waycross. We'll look at it. Now I have done Waycross to Rainier, which is part of the way up this direction. I've done those. Switch that big Rainier mill. Yeah, like I said in my other videos, this Riceboro Southern line down through here, this private railroad line, it is really nice. Done a good job on it. It's a nice little short line. I think it's like 18 miles.
Dispatch 12, over. Stop 17, over. Take it clear. Clear down,
Right
down.
here, picking up a
That's
little speed.
quarter roll, I'm off that problem, the next one.
Norfolk Southern engine that we operated the last 2 years was very similar to this, and it could have been a GP40, I'm not sure. This was in 96, 97. It didn't have, I don't believe it had the dynamic brakes. Because I remember when they dropped it off that night for us to use, they just dropped it off on the main line with the inbounds, and we just started using it. I just remember getting in it, and it was so much, you know, it was just like the RWL 1000 blue engine in my profile pic. So it was pretty much straightforward. Hop in and go. It was 4-axle. It was definitely what we needed, because it had plenty of horsepower to do what we needed to be. You know, it done what we needed.
UP detector milepost 64.0, track 2.
There's the high school and the football field. Well done. Big intersection up here. This will be the biggest one on the line. In the yard where I used to work at, there was no signals or nothing there. We had to run out in the road and put flyers out. They basically, where we had a switch at, right there at the road that went off to a little side track, they moved the switch on across the road way on up so they could add a second track, and I think adding that second track gave them the ability to
Westbound Z coming at you, James.
add the crossings, because I remember when I worked there, we were wanting those crossings and we couldn't get them. The railroad wouldn't put them in. I'm not sure what, if it was like, if it was 2 tracks crossing they could do it, or, and may have been something in there with how many wrecks has happened there, or I don't know exactly. But I know we wanted to get signals and arms and all that set up, which they got it now, which is good. Because we were in the road a lot, because we were having to move so many cars around.
UP detector milepost 64.0, track 2, no defect, total axle 432, temperature 67 degrees, detector out.
$7,700 rail cars. 7747 in the world right now.
Someone dispatch on. Form a 9560 Geneva Sub 30 MPH main track 3, milepost 4.2, milepost 4.35, void 1023 NM. show us Northfield Metro 505, same time mission.
Warehouse we got to switch out. It's a good little ways down here. It's more toward the end, and there is no Riceboro trackage maps to display other than right here where you first get on. That's really it.
Rush 12 over.
640 East.
640 westbound east comment. You'll meet the net command. They're coming close. Over.
Copy.
Over.
Let's go to the industry configuration. Yeah, print off the industry configuration. Do a sort by local and a sort by industry. Print those off. That's very helpful. Picking up some speed here, going downhill a little bit. Here we go. They call it on here, on the depot server, IG Design Group Americas. They do have a track map of it. I haven't been up into Yamasee either, up toward across the South Carolina border. Haven't been up on that end either. Still yet to do that.
NSF Kansas City dispatcher. NSF 5735 East, over. Yeah, responder will meet you at 4th Street near Electrics, over.
Yeah, let's see here. Sorted by industry, IG Design Group. It don't give near a mile mark post. Which I ain't really paying attention if we had mile posts on here or not. May have not. But I do know it's on down here toward the end. Probably just a few miles from the major industries down here at the end. Yeah, I like doing this short line. It's pretty busy. You can spend all day on this line on a full turnaround, switching all 3 industries. You know, handling round trip to Southover and back. It's pretty close to an 8-hour day. So sim time, we started at 7, a little after 7, 0700. It's 3:25 now, 3:24. So we're already over 8 hours. We still got a lot of work to do, so I guess it's going to end up being, it'll be a 10-hour work day. Definitely want to get it all done before it starts getting dark. You know, we may still have another 2 hours to go to get completely done. It may not be that long. May not take 2 hours. Because we pretty much cleared out the yards down here from early this morning. So we could shove everything in on the yard, you know, the big yard towards the interstate paper. You could shove everything in on there, but I'll probably, at least that's what I'm thinking right now, do like I did last time, put the Chemtol tank cars, that's the S&F Holdings plant, Chemtol, probably put their tank cars over on one of those little side runarounds like I did last time. We gotta go on. What's that little dirt road runs alongside the track? Let's go out ahead and see how much further we got. Oh yeah, we're close. We're getting close. Here's the little warehouse. We're gonna switch. Oh yeah, you can see the train. We get down here to switch out this little warehouse. IG Designs groups. We're gonna take a quick break. Maybe less than 10 minutes. Maybe just 5 or 6 minutes. We'll run in that warehouse and talk to them about spotting up these 2 box cars we got. See how they want them. Probably spot both of them up on. They got 2 doors. They may have 3 doors, but I think we'll use 2 doors. Make sure that's what they want. So we'll probably take a 5 or 6 minute break. You see this a lot in Run 8. They go past the Stop gate. You said fix that. Alright, let's see. Let's see where these cars are. Either Riceboro, those two right there, yeah. I knew they were up pretty close. Make it easier to spot. Let's slow down a little bit so our ground guy can hop off. The way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna leave room for 2 cars. We'll do it either way. Doesn't matter. About 8 cars. 6. About 5 more. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Not a half. 2 wheels, good enough. It'll be these that say 100 on it. So we got lucky there. Didn't have to get a bump. Pull it on through the switch. About 5 cars. About 3 more. We had 1 switch just like this out near the road. We did have 1 switch like this. About 1 more car. Half, quarter, 2 wheels. Good enough. Rest of our switches were like, you know, you see on most of the yards, the little shorter ones. Come on back. About 6 cars. Now I read that this was actually an SNF warehouse, a Chemtall warehouse. You know, they may ship out, I don't know, maybe barrels or stuff, something in these boxcars, I'm not sure. I was told that's what, I read that's what this is, but they call it, you know, IG Design Groups or IG Group of Americas. IG Design Group Americas is what it's called. About 5 more cars. 4. Three more. 2. One more car. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. That's good enough right there. It's gonna be just a few minutes. I'm gonna go in and talk to these people. Alright, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
UP detector milepost 64.0, track 2. UP detector milepost 64.0, track 2, no defect. Total axle 292, temperature 72 degrees, detector out.
6911.
Alright, I went in and talked to them. Yeah, they said these is ready to go.
A little bit slow on them, but looks like they should be ready
Spot
for
the
you.
next two up on the two doors. These are already sealed up and good to go. Nashville and Mobile. Let me look at this industry. IG. So they produce empties. Okay, making sure. I hadn't really asked them, so I don't know exactly what they take in here. Could be lab analysis stuff, who knows? Or it could be shipping containers. Alright, come on back. Could be boxes. You got about a car to hook. Half. Quarter. 10. 8. 6.
Okay,
4. Push it.
Keep slow rolling it down
8.
there, then
6.
I'm gonna
4
get
feet.
probably one
Good enough.
each way by you. Then I got a westbounder waiting on the eastbounder to get around you. So just see one each way at electrics, and I can get that signal.
They do have a third door here, but you can't get back far enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go
That
one each
that
way
should
at
have been
electrics before I
closed.
can get you the
You
signal at
know.
electrics. So. I mean, yeah, when he told me that would probably be the best place to not block the town, I didn't know he meant then also move the train up from there. I thought he meant 4th Street. Okay, either way, I mean, I got the westbounder waiting at electrics. This eastbounder should be getting close to passing you, I would think.
Go ahead, back to the switch. Picked up 2 empty boxcars. And we're going to be spotting 2 RSO 100 boxcars.
Eastbounder. They're 4 miles behind you.
About 8 cars. About 7 more. Six. 5. 4. 3. 2 more. 1. Alright, that's good enough. Come on back. You got about 7 to hook. Six. 5. 4. 3. 2 cars to hook. Car and a half. 1. Half. Quarter. 10. 6. 4. Good enough. May blow there. I'm gonna go and open it. Go ahead back to the switch. These passing cars should be placard 27. About 2 cars. Car and a half. 1 more. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. Good enough. Come on back. About 10 cars. Seven. I should have got on the other side, but I'm gonna have to spot them up anyway, so I'll probably stop. About 6 more cars. Five. Four. 3. 2 more.
UP detector,
1.
milepost 64.0. Half 2.
Quarter. Good enough. So we're going to stand in the center of this door. This is where we're spotting up. We'll have a door on this side to kind of align with. Alright, he's on back. Going to be spotting up. About 2.5 cars to spot. And like I said in other videos, normally we have a guy where we will be, or if we had an extra guy, he'd be cranking down the handbrake. About one more. Half. Quarter. 10. 6. 4. 2. Good. Alright, that should be spotted up with the door. You go around on the other side. You see we spotted up. If those were pushed down toward the end track, you might could get one more, but it's pushing it really close. 2's perfect. Give me just a slight bump.
6911 East, that's the very approach, 6Y080, main track 2, trainer.
Good. Pull it to you just a little. That's good enough.
UP detector, milepost 64.0.
Push it back
Track
just a little.
2, no defect. Total axle 392. Temperature 73 degrees. Detector out.
That'll do it. Yeah, get the brake on. Placard these. Go ahead, pull it on back to main switch. About 8 more cars. About 5 more. 4. 3. 2 more. 1. That's good enough. Come on back. About 6 to hook it. About 4. Three. 2 cars to hook it. 1. Half. Quarter. 10. 8. 6. 4. Good enough. We're almost at the end of the yard, or end of the line. We don't like too much further. Go ahead. Yeah, we're just a few miles away now. So we've already 2 hours and 15 minutes on part 3. Like I said, we're already over 8 hours, so I think we should be done within an hour or less. I think we'll be done at sim time. It's almost 4 o'clock. I think we'll be done before 5. So yeah, there's our reduction to 15. That's when we get to the first switch coming into the industry complex. So we're 2.8 miles away. I knew it wasn't too far down here from that warehouse. Hoping to get a bunch of followers, so you know, if you know anybody, share my stuff, like it, follow me. So, you know, it'll kind of encourage me to make more videos. I mean, it's been 28 years, but I still remember a lot. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of run act videos with people with locomotive engineering. You know, it's been a locomotive engineer and a conductor making videos. There's a few. We need more, you know, more people out there just kind of, you know, kind of operate the sim kind of how they did in real life, you know, to the best you can. I by no means know everything. It's a lot I don't know. I didn't operate over the road. I just worked the yard. You know, it was very similar to what this yard, and maybe why I like this. It's very similar to what I did, except we never got out on the main line. We never went and got the inbounds, took the outbounds out. We just set them out on a side track. Norfolk Southern come in and picked them up, 20 or 30 a night or whatever it was. But, you know, we was pretty busy. The furthest we went outside the plant was maybe half a mile. Crossing right here. that small 5-minute break, I checked on them hopper cars with that warehouse and got me something to drink. All right, I'm about to hit the 15 mile per hour mark. There, about 4/10 of a mile. I gotta throw a switch down here too when we came out. Stop the switch. It's lined up. That's right. I went back and hooked up to these tank cars. I was thinking I pulled out from the interstate paper and left out, but I came back down this track, hooked to the tank cars. I forgot about that. But I've already got in my mind how we're going to do this. We're going to cut the interstate paper cars back toward the paper mill, and the tank cars that go over here to Kimtall on the right, we'll cut them over on the side track. And the reason it's good to print off these maps, like I was saying in the other videos, you can write down little things on them. So like I know when I get down here at the end next to the interstate overpass, that last switch, you can get 55 cars past that switch because I did. It's just good information. I don't think we'll need that today, but little notes and stuff. And I assume these buildings over here in the middle, yeah, that's going to be Riceboro Southern headquarters, most likely. Yeah, Run 8 Enhancements Discord is where you get those switcher paint schemes. And those schemes right there are the GP40s. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I got them off of Divergent Clear Studios, maybe. Their Discord or website. Can't remember. But I do believe when you add the Savannah route, I think those are default, 2 of them sitting there. Okay, let's start the countdown timer. Let's go. What car I got? 200. Alright, so 200. 300s will be the paper mills, and the 200s will be the Kimtal. Yeah, that'd be good. That throws me off right there. I feel like that should be red instead of green. I guess we'll shove these intermobiles up the intermobile track. Yep.
745 request.
That switch wasn't right. But I ran around it, I guess.
Well,
Come down here and
meeting
check.
one, or if I get this broken barrel released on main one here, I'll send you
Yeah,
on
this
that.
little
Let's
stretch
hang
right
tight
here,
for a
I
minute.
believe you can get 55 cars through it,
All
I
right,
believe.
one are waiting for the broken rail.
I have to look at my notes. About one more car. Half, quarter. That's good enough. We're gonna cut them loose right here. Go ahead and pull it on the switch. I want to get some of these cars out of the way. Make the train a little shorter. About a car and a half. Half car. Quarter. Two wheels. That'll do it. Come on back. About 5 cars. Whoa. Hold up. Hold what you got. What did I do? I know what I done. I throwed that switch. The heck. guess that switch was already throwed. Not paying attention. Pull it back to the switch. Try this again. Car and a half. One. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. Good enough. Alright, come on back. I got to start paying more attention. I've done that a couple of times where I've come through switches before and didn't pay attention. You can go through them, but if you try to come back through them facing the switch, that's when you'll derail. About 4 more cars. About 3 more. Just keep easing on back. About 6 cars. Those need to be placard 27s. Acetic acid. That was placard. Those are 300 cars. Okay, good deal. About 5 more. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Half. Quarter. 2 wheel. That's good enough. I'm going to placard those 2. And if you get caustic cars, soda ash caustic cars, those are placard 18. I just know them. That's just because we used to have those. That's the only reason I know it. Give me a bump. Good enough. Go back to switch.
Yep.
About 3 cars.
Dispatch 12, over. 6586. Yeah, we'll tell you, wait for a route. Over.
Car and a half. One more. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. That's good. Come on back. About 3 to hook. All these containers are empty too. Probably set these box cars on the box car loading track where the warehouse is. About 2 more to hook. One, half, quarter, 10, 6, 4. Give me a bump. Got about 4 feet to hook. 3, 2, do it. Go ahead onto the switch. You got about 20 cars. Let's see how many we got here. 36 cars. We should fit through that switch.
That's on dispatch, should be 6882. Still on vacation, come on down to Provo Junction. I'll flag you into the IHV connection. Hold on.
Here it is. Yeah, 55 cars
They're towards Park,
via
MNT.
through last switch into the Riceboro. There it is. About 18 cars. About 12 more. Eight. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. Good enough. Come on back. About 6 cars. Switch is set. We're going in on the warehouse track with the box cars. Now on our switch yard where we work, and it might not be that like that in other places, but our locomotive engineer up on the train, he wrote down, he kept the track sheet official. He wrote down where we was putting stuff. Of course, we would tell him to, because obviously he couldn't see, he was up front. We'd try and tell him, you know, what all we were doing at the back, and he'd write it down. Just keep easing on back. switches set, going in on the warehouse track with the back 3 box cars. About 7 cars. Five more. 4. 3. 2 more. 1. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. That'll do it. We'll push it on back a little further. We'll get a bump. Give me a bump. We'll push it back a little. I think that's probably good enough. Good enough. Go ahead. Intermobile track. About 7 cars. We'll put all these tank cars on this track, the inbound tank cars. We spotted what? 2 tank cars up this morning up here. So we won't have to spot any more of it. About 3 more cars. Two. Car and a half. 1. Half. Quarter. 2 wheels. That'll do it. He's on back. I got the road. Road's clear. Make sure all these switches is set. Push these back down in here. Yeah. About 10 cars. Switches is set. I got the road. Road's clear.
Scott's on dispatch B6882 over.
Tell you what,
Yeah, are you still stopped over?
we're gonna go and spot these.
Are you still stopped?
About 15 cars to spot them. Bringing the intermobiles all the way back. Now that outside track with intermobile on it, those will be processed too. They can be processed on that outside track. Switches is line, keep on coming. About 12 more cars. Ten more. 8. Six. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. About a half. Quarter. 2 wheels. 1 more. That ought to do it. Give me a bump. Good enough. Go ahead, back to switch. See how many tank cars we got. Quite a bit. Yeah. Quite a bit more box cars too. About 8 cars.